shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea and I'll get my ping pong. This is getting heavy, can't hear the bass, boom, I'm ready. Life is sweet as honey, yeah, this beat shade like money. This go overload, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm down, you know I glow up. Hey, so let's go. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Hey, shining through the city with a little funky soul. So I'ma light it up like dynamite. Whoa, bring a friend, join the crowd, whoever wanna come along. Word up, talk, just move right up the wall. Their line, sky's the line, so we dance to the break of dawn.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got the medicine, so you should keep your eyes on the ball.
This is getting heavy, can you hear the bass? Boom, I'm ready. Life is sweet as honey, yeah, this beat chain like money. This go overload, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm down, you know I glow. And let's go. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Hey, shining through the city with a little funky soul. So I'ma light it up like dynamite. Whoa, life is dynamite. Life is dynamite. Shining through the city with a little funky soul. So I'ma light it up like dynamite. Whoa, light it up, dynamite. Light it up, dynamite. 'Cause I'm in stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. Shining through the city with a little fucking soul. So I'ma light it up like dynamite. 'Cause so watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. Shining through the city with a little fucking soul. So I'ma light it up like dynamite.
I woke up with a fear this morning, but I can taste you on the tip of my tongue. Alarm without no warning, you're by my side and we've got smoke in our lungs. Last night we were way up, kissing in the back of the cab, and then you say, love, baby, let's go back to my flat. And when we wake up, never had a feeling like that. I got a reason, so man, put that record on again. I don't wanna hear sad songs anymore, I only wanna hear love songs. I found my heart up in this place tonight. Don't wanna sing mad songs anymore, only wanna sing your song. 'Cause your songs got me feeling like I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. Yeah, you know, your songs got me feeling like no fear, but I think I'm falling. I'm not proud, but I'm usually the type of girl that would hit and run. No risk, so I think I'm all in. When I kiss your lips, feel my heartbeat thump. And now we're way up, dancing on the roof of the house. And then we make love right there on your best friend's couch. And then you say, love, this is what it's all about. So keep on kissing my mouth and put that record on again. I don't wanna hear sad songs anymore, I only wanna hear love songs. I found my heart up in this place tonight. Don't wanna sing mad songs anymore, only wanna sing your song. 'Cause your songs got me feeling like I'm in love.
my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you want a good tomorrow, it's pretty simple, got a find a life to follow. And if you do, you have a future real bright. And it's a combination of consistency. Come on and sing, oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. With another sunrise, it's a brand new day, so gonna make a little list to keep the worries away. I gotta dance just a little bit, move to be free. Keep my head up, don't forget to be me. Like I won $1 million, like a hit to pay dirt. Gonna smile from ear to ear, the kind that makes your face hurt. And we'll laugh, jump, sing loud, not afraid to shout about being happy, living it out. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you want a good tomorrow, it's pretty simple, gotta find a life to follow. And if you do, you have a future real bright. And it's a combination of consistency. Come on and sing, oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on and sing, yeah. Come on, come on, come on and sing.
Toda semana, mamita, não aguento. No centro, na baixada, no sol, no cimento.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we have a very short stream and we'll be learning about how we'll be playing a game together, which is to find out in a company we realize that there is a bad guy in the company and we suspect that this guy is leaking our company's sensitive data. And today for the whole 1 hour I will show you the concept of TCP, and specifically you want to learn what is this TCP three-way handshake is about. Okay, we have to understand the concept first, and then we'll go into the Wireshark playthrough, and I'll show you how we actually find out, answer a series of questions that we want to find out about what is this bad guy doing. Now that is the intro part. Before I start, just want to say thank you for coming back to the stream. I know it's already week 13, so if you are here, you are the survivor. So happy to see you. I don't know lah. For those guys who think like, oh, it's already week 13, I can't wait for this to be over. Then that's okay. I still love you. But for those who is like, oh, it's already week 13. I don't want this to be over. Then I love you so much. Okay. Now, just a little bit of planning. I want to make this clear about what we have coming. So now we are in week 12, and next week on week 13, we will be starting to discuss about all the things that we have done previously. So on the first stream next week, I'll talk about the quiz and midterm. So I'm sure some of you here are so interested to find out why I get this kind of score during the test. Okay, Now, if you are not interested, you say, okay, what done is done. That's it. That's in the past. That's fine. Then you don't have to join for the next week. Okay, because throughout the next whole week, I'll be discussing about the midterm and the quiz. Okay, now I know that is not what you want. Now, what you want is you want to know more about the FA, not the past. Okay, you want to know about the future. Now, for the FA, we will do a boot camp on week 14, Friday, which is 2 weeks after this. So I will put all the schedule on Weber starting from week 13 until week 14. So it is up to you to decide which stream you want to join. Whatever you think that will be useful for you, you can just join. Okay, but what I can tell you is the last stream throughout the boot camp, it will be a 3-hour stream. So continuously, I hope you get all your coffee ready. You have all your Starbucks, McD coffee, all the brands of the coffee, put it on the table because that will be 3 hours together. And I'll be going through some tips and tricks on what you really need to learn about Datacom. I know lah. Let's be honest lah. Why are you here today? Is because you want to pass this subject, or some people want to get an A. So on that stream, of course, I cannot tell you what will be the questions or things like that, but I'll be giving you some examples that is somewhat similar to what you'll be getting in the FA, and we'll do that together in the stream. Okay, so that will be on the boot camp, and most likely I'm going to do it from 10 in the morning, which is like what this time right now, but it will be a 3 hours stretch until 1, and then after that, that's it. Okay, now within the 3 hours, of course, you don't want to sit there and listen to me talking for 3 hours, so we'll take a few breaks in between, and one of the break, I hope that I will put a Zoom session here, and I hope that we can take a class photo. Okay, this is also new to me. It somehow is weird because I don't know how we are going to do this. But I don't know. To me, class photo is a must, and that's memory. In the end, when you look back, you won't remember all your A's. You will remember all the memories. So the photo will be the key to this memory. So I will put a Zoom session here. Whoever who want your face to be featured in the class photo, just join the Zoom link and then turn your camera on, and I'll do a screen capture. So with that video, I will record the whole thing. I will make a short video for throughout the semester. So that will be our class photo and class video. Okay, so more details will be on Weber when I plan out everything. Okay, now for today's stream, let's go straight into the playthrough. So for those who want to play this together, the file that you need is already linked in the description down below. So go back to the same folder, and this time you want to look for the file. It is named as little n, okay, naughty little n or something. So download the whole folder and you'll get a lot of files inside. Later on, as we use them, I'll explain what is the use of each of them. Okay, so if you're ready, you can open up your Wireshark, and then the first thing you want to open is the evidence file. So you're going to get something like this. Now before we start, just make sure you have everything that you need. Then I'll explain the backstory first, okay? This has to be fun, this has to be exciting. Because if you do this just for the money, you won't do this for too long. Okay, so what we have is, we have this packet tracer, the Wireshark PCAP file. I'm still in love with packet tracer, which is why I always say packet tracer. So this file here, and then you are given a series of missions. Now where is the mission? You haven't get the mission yet. In a short while you will get it. I will tell you where I hide the mission. In fact, the mission is not directly given to you. There is a reason to that. So, but before I start, I always want to do a few things okay, because analysis is really like 50% skill and 50% luck, In a good day, you sit down, you type something, you get what you want. Sometimes you, on the other side, like, okay, I try for the whole day, I wouldn't get what I want. Sometimes it's luck. So I would like to put up my favorite, my lucky spec. This is my lucky spec. If I put it on, then normally I will get all the things I want, okay? This is the spec that I wear during my first date. This is also the spec that I wear when I go for the job interview, which is why I'm here today. So this is really my lucky spec. So normally when I'm doing analysis, I want to put on my lucky spec. Okay. Now I don't know what is lucky for you. Maybe you have a lucky pillow or lucky shirt. Just take whatever is lucky and then put it beside you. Okay. Now anyway, I think I have to take this off. It's just too dark. I cannot do this. Okay. I have to wear this. Sorry, that is too dark. So I will just leave my lucky spec near to me so I feel the charm of the lucky here. Okay, now first thing is let me explain the backstory. So you have this is the company here. So the reason I have this packet tracer file, which is named evidence01, the one that you're seeing on Wireshark right now, is captured on this AP here. So you can see that this is a company. Actually, this is HP. So I'm not sure whether you know HP. I think everybody know HP. This is a very famous company that make printers, make computers. Okay, and in fact, most of the beautiful Windows-based laptop is coming from HP. You know, it's either okay. You are those people who are like I'm a Windows guy, so and you want to buy a laptop that looks really nice. Normally, you have a few options. Not many. You have Dell XPS. That's one. And then you have the other one, which is from HP Spectra line. So HP and Dell, they are direct competitors. And right now, today, this is the HP lab that you see here. So you can see it is very secretive, and these are all the people that are working inside HP. Okay? So they are working on a secret product. Nobody should know anything. In fact, it is so secret that normally in a secret lab, they have all these special rules, like you cannot take your PC inside, you cannot take anything go out, or you cannot take camera, cannot take pictures, things like that. Okay, so it's very secretive one. Okay, so this is a HP company, and then you have a few employees here. Now, of course, this you can see it is so secretive that it doesn't even have a door here. So you are thinking, okay, how these people get in? Okay, now for those who think this drawing is a bit ugly, I'm sorry lah. I draw this thing to visualize the backstory. Okay, and yeah. So before that, I just want to say that this is like, okay, it really depends on the people lah. I draw this using an iPad, but it is not whether you have an iPad or iPad Pro. It's the people who use the iPad, whether he is a pro or not. Okay, never mind. I didn't take any drawing class before that, so this is good enough lah. So over here, you see there are a few people. Now, what we are doing here is we are not trying to find who is the bad guy. Okay, definitely we know someone is the bad guy here. So I will just go through what we have here. So you can see there's a few people here. So there's a girl here, and then there's a guy here. There's two people here talking, and then this guy here is sneaking or spying on me, and this is actually me. Okay, so this one is you. Today you are this guy, the inspector who are hired to do the analysis lah. So in fact, if you zoom inside, you can see this guy is using this one, Avocado OS. Okay, I make this up. This is an OS for you to analyze who is the bad guy. Okay, for you to know what is going on the network. I make this up, but there is no Avocado OS one. Okay, so on the other side, this is the parking lot. Okay, so a little bit of backstory. And yeah, in this company, we already suspect someone is the bad guy lah. So we know that this N, okay, this you see everybody is AAA here. So this one is Avocado, this one is N, her name is N. So the file that you download, the naughty little N, so we are referring to this girl here lah. Now we have suspect this girl to be a spy for a long time. Maybe she's a spy from Dell or something. Okay, so why we suspect is because this girl is so pretty that she can become a model, but I don't know why she want to come and work here and gets a little bit of money. So something is wrong lah, and we suspect her. So what we do is, on this AP here, we started to monitor her traffic, meaning that she is using a Wi-Fi connection here that's connected to this wireless access point, and all the traffic that is sent out and received by her machines, we capture it here. Okay, so how we capture it is not our concern today. Just that you know that we have a way to capture, which is why you have the evidence01.pcap with you right now. So that file is captured here, and then you are given the file to do some analysis today. Okay, so what actually happened is something like this. On one day, when we are monitoring N, suddenly we detected that her traffic is talking to a weird traffic. Now, when I say weird traffic, the reason I know something is wrong is because this is HP. Okay, this is just an example. Now, all the HP staff and employee can only use the product that is made by HP, cannot use any product made by any competitors. Okay, and suddenly later on you will see today on the on the PCAP file that you get, suddenly we detected there is some traffic coming from a Dell network card. Okay, so we are assuming that if you are using a HP laptop, the network card is built by HP. It is not some other vendor like Cisco, Huawei, or even Dell. So later on, you will see somehow you suddenly notice that there is a Dell here. Okay, so all HP employee, this is HP lah. Hardware package stands for HP. Now this is normal, and today suddenly we detect one traffic come from this one Dell. So this is how we find out something is wrong. So we save the file as evidence 01.pcap. We give it to you, and today your job is to find out that what has N done. Okay, so maybe we are suspecting that there is another spy that is communicating with her. So if you go back to this diagram here, of course you are thinking, why I don't just save the thing and pass to him? No, because like what I say, this is a secret lab. You cannot bring anything in, you cannot bring anything out. Okay, so this guy here, he parked near to the office, and then he connect to this AP. Okay, so you can see his IP is 1.159. So he actually connect to this AP. So he joined the HP network. Okay, now this is also weird lah. How come he can join the HP network? You can think of this as N share the Wi-Fi password to this guy. So this is actually the bad guy. They are partner in crime, so that he can access to the wireless access point, and then N here is trying to send some sensitive data out to this guy. Okay, this is what happened here. So this is the story. Okay, now yeah, there is one people here, and this guy is using a laptop. This is the best I can draw. So this is the backstory. I hope you get what is going on here. And the evidence 01 that you are seeing now is actually the traffic of this PC here with 1.158 talking to this PC 1.159. Okay, now we are suspecting that she stole some sensitive information, like maybe the next design of iPhone 13, iPhone 14, iPhone 15 sent to this guy. Okay, HP doesn't make iPhone. So we want to know what she sent, and then some other thing. Okay, now you are given a set of mission. Okay, this mission, there are 5 things, and it is given in the form of a picture. So if you look at what I have for you in the folder, there is one picture called mission. Okay, yeah, I think I should show this to you. Wait, you can see my OBS. I have to move this side. Oh, okay, some people is having issue with this couple. No, this is just like this guy here, he dropped his pen and then he is trying to pick up the pencil from the floor. Okay, it's just as simple as that. This is an innocent story about N who is trying to send some sensitive info. Okay, please don't make this into another kind of stream. Then later they will block my video. Okay, now I'll show you what you have in the folder. So you have something like this, and one of it is this picture. Okay, it's a picture of what you see here. Every time we start the stream, you'll see my face. Okay, my cute face, and this is the intro. Now, all the missions, you're asking where is the mission, is hidden inside this picture, because we know N is smart. N is not what we think. Okay, she might be a spy, and then she may also know about Wireshark. She may also know about how to hack people. So if you are dealing with someone that is also like a pro, you need to use a pro method. Okay, so what I have done is I have hide all the missions that we want to do today in this picture. so that when I send this picture to you, even if Anne stole this picture, she doesn't know that actually I have hidden some information in this picture. Okay, so in security we call this thing as steganography. You'll be learning more about steganography when you take the security subject. So I'm not going into too details about all these things. Right now I'm just using this technique, but as you move on to the security, you actually learn more details about them. So right now what you should know, this picture is not just a picture. It is a picture that comes with hidden messages, which is all the missions that you want to take. So only me and you know lah. Okay. Now how do I recover this the message inside? Now on the internet there are many tools. Okay, there are many tools for you to take a picture and then you take all the data, you can hide it inside a picture. So people don't know what, they only see a picture, but only the people who know that there is a hidden message will go and extract this data out. So today I will show you the way I do it. I use a Chrome extension. So if you look at the link down below, there is a link to the steganography to hide in text in image. Now for those who want to try this, you have to use Google Chrome as your browser. Okay, you cannot use any other browser. So you can open up Google Chrome and then you just click on the link and install the extension. Okay, so once you install the extension, then you will see something like this. Okay, something like this icon here. Okay, depending on whether you have been using Chrome, if you have so many extensions, then you might have to look for this thing. Okay, now once you install this, and then you can click on it and you will see something like this. So this extension is very useful. Normally, if you know like, okay, many people hate you, so you want to be more secretive, then you can use this. Like even your assignment, you can hide your assignment in a picture, so nobody is going to know that there is an assignment hidden in the picture. So if it is just a picture, why would I want it, right? So over here, of course, if you want to try this out, you can take a picture and then you can use this one, hide a text in message. Now I won't show you this because we will do the opposite. If you are given an image with hidden message, you want to read text in an image. So in this case, I will use the second option here. Wow, this guy gave me a very good idea. Can I hide FA answer that? Stay tuned for more information on my Instagram story. Okay, so over here, this is what is really useful because it's UI based and it will be very intuitive. So what you need to do is you just take the picture that you download from the folder, which is the mission picture. So I just go and click on this mission picture here, open this one, and then sometimes when people hide message, they will put a password. Now in this case, there is no password, so that you don't have to put in anything here, and you just go here and then you click on this decode button. Okay, when you click decode, then something happened. There's a script that happened. You have to extract the text from the image, and then you can click on view, and you can see these are all the things that we are going to find out in this stream today, which is all hidden in a picture. Okay, now I'll give you a few seconds to try this. And yeah, after you have seen this, of course, you want to save this to a file. You can save this to a text file or something, so that later on, throughout the stream, you know what we are doing. Okay, now it depends on how you want to do it. I'll give you 1 minute to try this out. If you don't want to do this, then you can just straight away take a screenshot here, because I already tell you what we want to do today is here. Okay, now the point of this thing is so that if Anne know that I am watching her, because she's also smart, okay, but she wouldn't know that we are trying to find out what she do, because for her she thought it's just a picture. Okay, so I'll give you 1 to 2 minutes to try this out, and then once you have the mission list of the day, we'll move on and I'll show you how we answer all these questions. Okay. So for those who don't want to try this, then you can just take a screenshot of this thing here. This will be all the 6 things that we want to find out today. Okay guys, so once you are done, let's go back to packet tracer with all the missions list, and then now we want to really find out like what has N sent out, okay? Or maybe she's innocent. We have been tracking the wrong time, the wrong people all this time. So let's go back to your Wireshark here. And yeah, after this, what do you do is really depends on, like what I say, there's no right or wrong, your intuition, your gut feeling, and you think what will lead you to the clue, the flag that we say this is like capture the flag, so the flag earlier. Okay, so of course, if you use what we have learned earlier, the first thing I will do is I will remove all the noise that I don't want. For example, I can do things like NBNS, not NBNS, things like that. Okay, now we won't do this for this strip because right now it is a bit different. So in this packet tracer file, you don't have so many packets. In fact, you only have 240 packets. Now, most of the time, first thing you want to do is you want to see whether you have a layer 5 information. Okay, and you also know that let's say N want to leak a data out, she might have to use a program, and most likely the program can be also a web-based version. So that is something that you can try to guess. So for example, if you want to know whether there are layer 5 protocol, you can always go to your statistic here and then go to protocol hierarchy, and this will show you what are the protocols, all the kind of protocols that you have in this capture file itself. And from here you can really go and find, is there any layer 5 protocol? In fact, there is. So from here you can tell that there is HTTP. So yeah, our guess is somewhat correct. Some of the traffic is sending to the web server. Okay, but maybe it doesn't lead to anything, we don't know yet. So if you want to do a filter on HTTP, then you will see, yeah, in fact there are 4 packets for the web traffic. Now later on we'll come back and then we see what is inside. Okay, so now first thing I want to show you is that normally if it is confusing, what you can do is you want to find out who are the endpoint here. So what I mean is you don't want to be confused with all the traffic coming from source A to source B and destination B, or too many people is talking. So if you want to know who is involved, like in a lecture class, I have a lecturer and then I have 10 students. You want to know who are all the people involved, then you can always remember we have learned about this endpoint. Now with endpoint, then you can know, okay, these are all the IP that is detected in this packet capture file. So these are all the endpoints. Okay, in fact, some of this IP is not really a device because it could be a multicast address also. So the other way you can find out who is in this conversation is, of course, you use the conversation functions here, and then it will show you who is talking to who. Okay, now in this playthrough, we already know that the NPC is having 192.168.1.158. So from here we can see that yeah, there are some traffic that is coming from the N laptop. Okay, so normally what I want to do is I want to focus on N because we know something is wrong with her. And what you can do is you can always filter up her IP. So 151.158. So this is something that you can do. Now if you write a filter like this, what it means that I'm only interested to see all the traffic that is related to N laptop. So all the traffic she sent out and all the traffic that she received. Okay, then you will get you narrow down the scope that you need to look for. So that is one thing that you can do. Now the other thing that you can try is you want to know who started a conversation. Now I just want to make this clear, a disclaimer. Whatever I'm showing you right now might not give you the answer, okay? I'm just trying to show you as what I'll be doing when I'm given the file, what are the first thing I'll do, and then what are the next thing that I will do. Okay, now these are the first few things. I always want to know who is involved, and then if you have a target that you want to check on, just filter up all her traffic. Okay, now of course you can do even more, like you want to know all the traffic that is coming from N to the bad guy. So you also know the bad guy is 159. The reason I know is like what I said earlier. I happen to find out that 159 laptop is using a Dell network card. Cannot because all HP employee have to use HP laptop, and the HP laptop will use a HP built network card. Okay, this is just an example. So you can also do something like this, 196.1.158. Now you want to change it to a source, so you want to do IP.source host. So this syntax here allow you to choose, okay, who you want to see as the source or the sender, and then where you want to go to. So I want to see all the traffic that have this end has sent, okay, and I want to extend the filter to also show me that it only all the traffic that goes to this 159, because I'm thinking 159 might be her partner in crime. So I put IP.destination host and then 192.168.1.159. So if you do this, then you are seeing all the traffic that is sent by NPC to the guy who is parking in the parking lot right now. Okay, now this is something to help you to narrow down the thing that you are looking for. But of course, it might not be the right directions. I'm just trying this out. Okay, remember, everything is trying and error. Now the next thing that I would like to know would be, I know 158 is talking to 159, but who started the conversations? That might also be helpful, because if you know who started the conversations, then you can actually guess a little bit more about what actually happened. Okay, so there is one cool trick that you can learn on how you find who start the conversations. And to do so, we have to understand the concept of TCP three-way handshakes. So right now, I will go to this example here, and now we learn about this TCP three-way. Okay, now we have to take a detour, and then let's talk about TCP. So for those who are interested, we have heard of TCP and UDP. It's very easy to remember. TCP is the guy who take a baby and then pass it politely to you. UDP is the guy who take a baby and then throw it. I don't want to throw this because no more warranty already. So those TCP and UDP, they are both layer 4 protocol, and we use them as a transport layer protocol so that we can send the segment, or we call this a frame, deliver them from one host to the other host. Okay, that is layer 4. Now today what you are seeing here is the header of a TCP packet. Okay, remember when we learned about the internet model, we say that there are 5 layers, and every time you want to send a small data, this small data have to go from layer 5 to layer 4 to layer 3 to 2 and to 1. And every time this thing happen, you are adding a header in front of this piece of data as it goes from level 5 to level 1. Okay, so this thing here is the header that you will add when you go from layer 5 to layer 4. This is a transport layer header, which is actually a TCP header. Okay, now what is in the header is all the important information that you might need for the protocol to work. For example, if I'm saying that when a postman want to send you the thing you bought from Lazada, so your postman will need to know where to send the address, who to receive, your name, your IC number, and your phone number. So these are all the things that the postman will need. Now for TCP, what a TCP need is TCP will have to know the port number, because TCP is layer 4. Layer 4 is all about port numbers. Okay, and then there are some other control informations. Now in these subjects, we are not going to get into each of them, but today we are interested to find out a little bit more about these 6 pink color thing here, which are called the TCP flags. Okay, now of course, before that you have to understand what is TCP for. TCP is used as a layer 4 protocol to deliver a segment from one source to the destination. And the flags are here for certain reasons, because that when you are sending different data, there are different requirements. For example, if you are buying from Lazada, you have the options to choose. You want to use JNT, or you want to use GDEX, or you want to use Post Laju, and then whether you want priority delivery, like free shipping means you will get in 14 days. If you pay a little bit more, you will get it in 7 days. So there are different control or different treatment to those packets. And one of the way you can do this is by setting these flags. Now the way we use these flags is very simple. It's like a toggle. 1010 only because it's all one bit. So it's like, imagine, I like to imagine it in this way. You see the pilot when they want to fly an airplane, there are so many buttons on the dashboard. So normally when they go in, they will tap, 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 and then try to turn on some button. That is a toggle. Just turn it on and then you can fly already. Yes, I learned that from many movies lah. So toggle is like this. For example, if you want to use the first flag here, what you need to do is you have to just change this to 1. If you don't want to use, you close this, then it becomes 0. Then if you want to use the third button, then you just turn it on, it becomes 1. Okay, it depends on which flag you want to use. Just turn it on or turn it off. So it's always 10 or 1100, something like this. Okay. Now the next thing you have to know is, what are these flags for? Okay. Now we have 6 flags in total for a TCP. Okay. The first type of flag is called the U, which is the urgent pointer here. So normally we call this a U. Now you use an urgent pointer if the data that you send or the segment that you are sending, you want it to be immediately processed by the receiver. So it's like urgent, important. Okay. So 2-day shipping or Amazon same-day shipping, very important. You have to send it and then process it immediately. Then you use this one is equal to 1. Okay. Now the next flag is one of the most important flag, which is ACK, stand for acknowledgement, and this one is always set to 1. When you receive something and then you want to tell people that you have received it, so you will set this ACK to 1. Okay, so ACK stand for acknowledgement. Okay, do you so far I hope you are still with me. And yeah, this is one of the most common flag that you will see in any packet, because the internet is like this. I send you something, you reply me something, I send you something else again. So when you get the thing that I sent to you, you have to tell me that you have already got it, right? If I pass a baby to you, you have to tell me the baby is safe. So that is how we do it. Put this ACK into 1. Okay. Now the next one is called a push pointer. Push is, you might see this from time to time, but it's not very common. And push is used if you want to send a data out immediately without waiting. So for example, it is like this. Have you been to Genting? Genting, for those who are not from Malaysia, if you're not familiar, Genting is one of the tourist spot, and then they have this nice cable car from the, you can take the cable car to the hilltop. Okay, so when you go to Genting, you take the cable car. I think one car it might fit 6 people or 8 people. Now in a not crowded season like now, nobody is there. You can take, one people can take 1 cabin, no problem. But during a crowded season, they try to push everything. They want to max out the capacity of the cabin, and then so that the queue is not too long, right? So it's the same for packet. A packet you can put many things. Now sometimes I can put something here, okay? And then if the flag of P is 0, I will be waiting for other thing to fill up the whole buffer, then I will send it out. In a way, it is good because I'm optimizing it. It saves a lot of traffic. I don't have to I just want to tell you hi and then I send a message. Have you seen someone like that? I have a friend like that one. He sent messages, hi, you want eat? Oi. Now, this kind of people, he can put this in 1 message, but he want to send 5 messages. So this one is if push flag is 0. If push flag is 1. Okay, so if you set this push equal to 1, means that you don't want to wait. I don't care about whether this one has been filled up. As long as I have something here already, I'll just send it. I don't want to wait until it is filled up. So that is the push flag here. Okay. Now that will be the 3rd flag in TCP. If you're okay, then let's look at the 4th one. The 4th one is reset. Now normally we'll set this reset to 1 if there are some error in the sessions. So in the TCP, we say that before you can use a TCP, you have to establish a connection. And this is why later on you'll learn about this TCP 3-way handshake. Before you can talk to people, you have to shake his hand first. But now in this time you shouldn't shake hands, so you should just say, hi, nice to meet you. So it's like you want to establish a connection. Okay. Now sometimes things can go wrong. like the session is paused or session is terminated, and you want to reconnect. So some of the time when that happens, you will set this thing reset is 1 to tell people that okay, something is wrong, so I want to reset the connections so that we start new. You can maybe it can mean you start a new connections, or you want to resume the same some sessions using the same parameters, then you'll just put this R into 1. Okay, so that will be the 4th flag. Now the 5th flag here, the SYN, this is again one of the most important flag that you will see in TCP, and this one stands for synchronization, synchronize. So remember just now I say before you use TCP you have to say hello, let's build a session, nice to meet you. So when you do that, when you say hello, that is done by this synchronized flag. So we will set this S is equal to 1 when you want to start a connection to someone else. That is how this S is used. Okay. Now the last bit or the last flag that we have here is finish, and this finish, as you can guess, is when you have done with the session. We are done. That's it. After bit 14, we won't be streaming anymore. So you want to set this F is equal to 1 to indicate that the session is over. I want to close these sessions. So you have to do this. Otherwise, if you just start a session and then you never close the session, then you'll be having so many open sessions, and this is not good even for the network device and even for your own device, because you are eating up a lot of memory just to keep all the sessions open. So when like I go to Webber, I finish downloading some assignment or PDF or something, I want to close the connections to Webber so that it don't use up my memory. Okay, now when you have that, you check the packet, you will get to see the F will be set to 1. And that explains the 6 kind of flags that we have in the TCP. Okay, now based on that, we are going to learn what we call the TCP three-way handshake. And this is really important. You cannot say you took datacom and then you don't know about TCP three-way. So over here, why we are learning this is because if you think about the N example that we played earlier, you can actually see who started the connections. Whether N is the one who started the connections to the spine in the car park, or the spine in the car park started to talk to N first. Okay, it might be interesting or it might be not, we are not sure. So over here, when you want to use a TCP, the first thing that you will do is you always want to send the first handshake here, and this packet you will set the SYN is equal to 1, which is the flags that you see here. So what it means is if you take a packet, you do some analysis and you find out that the flag S here is set to 1 in that packet, then this is exactly the packet, and you can know this is a packet that is sent to start a session, start a TCP session. Okay, now when you do this, the server will have an options. Now you want to be my friend. Do I want to be your friend? I have to decide right now. So the server will decide whether you want to allow the sessions. So if the server say okay, then he will reply a packet with SYN is equal to 1 and ACK is equal to 1. So in the second packet, you take the packet and then you analyze it, you will see 2 things. Okay, you will see that both of these flags is set to 1. So this is 1, this is 1. Of course, the other will be all 0. So all here will be 0. Okay, when you see a packet like this, you know that this is coming from a guy who is replying to another guy that he want to allow the session. I want to start a session with you. Let's be my girlfriend. Something like that. Okay, so of course, if the server choose not to allow the sessions, then the server will just send RST or something. Okay, now that I don't want to go into that. So let's go back to this three-way handshake first. Now this one here, this SYN1. Why this is here? It's because if I want to be your boyfriend, you also have to say, okay, I agree to be your girlfriend. So it has to be two-way. If love is one-sided, then it will be very tiring. Love has to be mutual, right? So in this case, when this guy say, I want to start a connection, this guy will also say, okay, I want to start a connection also. That is why you have SYN is equal to 1 when you reply back. Now how about this ACK here? This ACK is used to acknowledge that I have already received your request to start the connection. So these two things is actually connected, meaning that you want to start a connection, I agree to start. So I agree means ACK is 1, and then at the same time I also want to start a connection to you. So you have this SYN is equal to 1. That is the second packet that you will get. Okay, so once you have that, the last thing, the last traffic, which is why it is called three-way, because you will have 3 traffic here, it will reply only ACK is 1. So this one is by the guy who want to start the connection in the first place to the server, or the guy who is trying to connect to, and you have ACK is 1, and this ACK is 1 means that since you want to connect to me also, I will agree that I will allow you to connect. Of course, this one is have to be 1 now. You are the one who said I want to connect, and then people on already. You don't want, man. How can you do that? So if you turn people on, then you have to be responsible, right? So over here, this is what three-way handshake is about. So it started with one guy say I want to connect, SYN is 1, and then this guy said okay, you can connect, and then I will also connect to you, and then the original guy will say okay, then I will also connect back to you. So you can see the traffic is actually you are opening a 2-directional traffic, and with that, once the three-way handshake is done, you have a session established, and from here onwards you can start to send all your data. Okay, it will be all the data transfer. Of course, once you are done with all these things, then you want to send something called finish is equal to 1, so that you can close the connections. When you send the finish is equal to 1, normally you will get ACK is equal to 1 to say, okay, you want to close this, let's close it. Okay, maybe we are not suitable, find someone else. And then of course this guy will also say I want to close the connection, and then you will also say okay lah, then you don't want me already, I also don't want you. So what you see here is you are tearing down the connections. So something similar to when you start the connections, you say S is 1, and then he will reply ACK is 1, S is 1, and you say ACK is 1. So here when you terminate, you will say that's it, I don't want already, F is 1. He said okay, then we will stop the connections, I also don't want already. He said okay, then I wish you happy ever after, something like this. So this whole thing that you see here is how TCP works. Okay, now if you're okay with this, I'll give you 2 minutes to just take a breather, and then we will go back to this Wireshark file and we'll see what we can do with what we have just learned. No, in fact no, don't go for a break. Just let me show you what I can do with the flag, and then only you take a short break. Okay, so guys, please don't go first. Wait. We have a very good questions coming up. When urgent and push become 1. Yeah, normally if you want to push, then you will put urgent also, because push means that you don't want to wait. Now you see, if you just put push is equal to 1, means that I'm not waiting, whatever I have I send. But it doesn't mean that when the people receive it, they will immediately process it, you know. So if something is really urgent, then you want to set urgent is 1. If something is really really urgent, then you want to set urgent is 1 and push is also 1. So immediately you send, you don't wait, and then the receiver will immediately process it. Now for those who are thinking what are the difference between the urgent pointer, the urgent flag and the push flag, I think you are really smart people. Now like what I said earlier, the main difference is urgent is used to tell people this segment is important, you have to process it. But sometimes if you don't set push, we might still have to wait for the thing to fill up before I send. So there is already some delay there. So it really depends on how urgent this is. If it is very urgent, you set push is 1 so that I don't wait, and then urgent is also 1 so that when the receiver got it, immediately he will process it. Okay, so based on the flags that we learned here, you can actually find out like who is starting a connections. Okay, now for example, I can just remove all the filter, and then I want to see who talk to who first. I can use the TCP.flags, which is what we have just learned, .syn, because syn is 1 means I start the connection. So syn is equal to 1. if I press enter here, you will see that, okay, now these are all, it's supposed to be more. So you can see that, okay, now this is all the people who start the connections, and then these are all the people who say okay to start the connections. Okay, now if you want to know like who this is, when I do this, okay, when I do this, this means in the three-way handshake, this is the first packet. Now if you want to know if who reply to a session request, then you can say SYN is equal to 1, and then you put another flags dot ACK is equal to 1. So if you do this, this one is trying to filter up all the packets that is the second, that which is from the second packet in the TCP three-way handshake. So SYN is 1, ACK is 1. Okay, now of course if you do something like this, TCP.flags.ACK is equal to 1, you will get a lot. Because ACK is equal to 1 means what? Means that anytime I receive a data, I will say ACK is 1, which is why it is a lot here. Okay, so if you want to only see the third packet in the TCP three handshake, there is no easy way to do that. Okay, the reason is because all TCP traffic, as you get something delivered, you have to reply ACK is equal to 1 in the place of the flags. Okay, so this is something that you can use to find out who started the conversations, or who agreed to start a conversation, something like this. Okay, now I'll give you a 5-minute breaks, and then as we come back, we will go back into this this playthrough, and then we'll try to recover all the things that we need to answer that 5 questions. Okay, so I'll see you back in a short 5 minutes.
Guess we started a fight, now the bedroom is burning. Can we put it out? Cause we're both saying things that we're gonna regret when every word's too loud. We gotta slow down. Got out it low now. Yeah, we should go now. Cause things are always better. Things are always better when you call me back in a little. When the dust starts to settle, all we need is a little time to keep me yours and keep in mind. Don't be scared if we're falling. It hurts less in the morning. All we need is a little time to keep me yours and keep in mind. To keep me yours and keep in mind. There's a cloud in this room and I can't cut the tension. Cause we lost the night in the mountain of dishes that none of us mentioned. We eat out at night.
Okay guys, welcome back. I hope you are ready with the skill that we have just learned. Now it's time to crack the challenge, okay? So over here, we are back into the Wireshark here, and then what I've done is I am just filtering all the traffic that is coming from NPC, because now she is the main target here. So I'm seeing all the traffic that N is sending to and all the traffic that is received by NPC. So for example, this one, N's laptop is sending something to 64 something, and then this guy replied to N. So over here we know it is not just 2 people, there are more. And my guess is right now when N is talking to that spy in the car park, somehow this is the server in between. So I'm not sure what they are using. It could be using Facebook Messenger, or they could be using WeChat apps or something. Okay, but I think this might be the server. 64.12.24.50 might be the server. Because you see, later on if you check at the conversation, in the place of conversations, you will see that this 64 is also talking to 159, but it is on another IP. So I don't know how these apps work or how this server work, but right now I'm guessing that N is sending a traffic to the server, and then the server is sending the traffic to the guy in the car park. That is one guess. The second guess is this is just a noise or something. Okay, so next thing I will do is I want to follow all the TCP stream that is coming from the NPC. So what do I mean by a TCP stream? So what we learned just now on TCP is to start a session. When you start a session, you can start to send many data, one after another. Now remember that a data will not fit in one parcel most of the time, right? So we will be chopping them up. And then you send multiple pieces over. Now all the pieces that belongs to the same sessions, we call this part of a TCP stream. So stream is not like the YouTube stream. It's like one PC to the other PC. I can start multiple sessions, okay? And then all the data that I send that belongs to one apps, for example, belongs to Facebook, will belong to the same sessions or the same stream. Okay, and then on the same PC, of course, I might be using another apps like WeChat. So that will belong to another TCP stream. So over here, I wanted to look at the difference. Before this, all the things that we have learned earlier is at the packet level. The password that we find is in one of the packet, right? Even all the things that we have analyzed before is packet based. Now in this stream, it is different because we are looking at the flow. Now flow means that a lot of packets together. For example, if something like this, okay, I have many packets here. So this is let's say the first one, and then the second one, the third one. Now this one is Facebook app, okay, and then this one is the Facebook server. So we are sending a lot of things. This thing is called a session. We have a session because just now we do the handshake. Then you have a sessions. Okay, now sometimes we call this a stream. So you have so many packets. So packet 1, packet 2, packet 3. Now all this thing is a flow. Okay, flow means that all the packets that belongs to the same stream is called a flow. And we are going to work at the flow level because this is not an easy challenge. It is not something you can find in a packet. You have to see the whole conversations, the whole flow. Okay, now for those who are interested to filter up flow, you can use this command tcp.stream eq something, eq1 or eq2. Okay, this command allows you to filter up the first flow, the second flow, the third flow. Depends on which flow you want to check or analyze. Okay, now of course it's difficult because I wouldn't know which flow I have to check. Maybe the data that n leak out is in flow number 1 or flow number 2. We wouldn't know. So the easier will still be you use these functions here. You just right click and then you follow the TCP stream. Now when you do so, Wireshark will immediately do the filter for you. And now you know that, oh, actually the first one is from EQ2, the flow number 2. Okay, now then we start to analyze. And you will see something interesting. Okay, if you look through the file here, you can actually read some information that we understand, something that human readable. So you see, you have SES55 user. So this one looks like what? Looks like a username to me. Okay. Now, and then you have this message. Here is the secret recipe. I just downloaded the file from a server. Just copy to a thumb drive, and you're good to go. We are getting somewhere. So I think this end here is trying to save something and then send to this guy through the wireless network, and this guy will copy to a pen drive and then he go. This is what they are planning to do. Okay, now in fact, if you want to filter this further, you look at this place where you can actually filter them by the directions. Okay, so this conversation here is from 158 to 64 or something. So maybe this is the WeChat server or whatever the server is. Okay, so for example, if you want to see only one directions, then you can click, you want to see all the traffic from 64 here. This one is the server back to N's laptop. The second one is from N's laptop to the server. So of course, I want to see what N is trying to send. So if I filter, then this is the full message. Okay, and then you can see something else. Hey, we have something interesting. Recipe ... So perhaps, okay, my guess is this is the file that she is trying to leak. Recipe. She found out KFC. Why every time you eat KFC is finger licking good? All the recipes inside. So she leaked this thing out. See you in Hawaii. Wow, this guy, you are dealing with Inspector Avocado. Do you think you can end up in Hawaii? Not so easy. Okay, now this is what they do lah. So maybe they are like, to give you some context, maybe they just use Facebook Messenger and then they talk something. So I just open up my Facebook and then, wow, this one's so handsome. What is showing this picture here? Sorry, this is not supposed to be the plan. Okay, then then you just find somebody to talk to, and then they put this message in. Now why I'm showing you this, because I want you to follow me on Facebook. Okay, no, just kidding. So to give you some visual context, they are chatting on the messenger, and then this is the message that they send. So of course, you will always see, like, if I talk to you, there should be a reply. So is there any reply? Let's try to see the other directions. So this could be the reply. Okay, let's go through this thing. Sounds like a reply. So it's like this user here is replying to N, and then she say like, thanks dude. I thought N is supposed to be a girl. So thanks dude. And then can't wait to sell it on eBay. Wow, faster go and check eBay whether the recipe.docx somebody is selling it there. So this is the conversation. Okay, now at least we know something already. So let's go back to the missions file and then see how much we can answer. Okay, So this is the first. Okay, let me enlarge this a bit. Okay, so my guess is the first question. What is the name of N body? I'm thinking, okay, everything is guessing lah. So maybe this is the one here, SS user. Because you can see N is always talking to this guy, and every time when we see a reply, this name is always there. Okay, so this is how I find out. The other way is you can also do a HTTP just to like consolidate what my guess. If you do a HTTP filter, there are only 4 packets, and I analyze on the first one, 230, okay, the first one. Under here, you can also see something like this. This is AIM.com. So yeah, now we know more thing. They are actually chatting because AIM is a chatting service, and then this is this is the username. See, the username is here. So this further consolidate that this might be the user that N is talking to. This is his name on the AIM or whatever IM that they are using. So I'll go back to what we had earlier. That is the first question. So let's see if we can answer more. What is the first comment captured in the IM? Yeah, this one we also can find out earlier. Okay, so again, for those who are still following, you can just copy this thing. So these are the first message. Okay, something like this. So let's put it in our report, because whether you earn the money or you don't earn the money depends on whether you can come up with this report. Okay, this is what we do as a network analyst. Now, what is the name of the file N transfer? Maybe this one we already know, because just now if you look here, somewhere here you see a docx. Just now I saw a docx. Yeah, somewhere here. Okay, a docx file. So maybe this is the file recipe.docx. So yeah, this is the file that she's trying to leak. Wow, lick my finger, licking good recipe with 11 herbs inside. So the next one here, what is the magic number? Now this one we have to further investigate. The magic number, or sometimes this is called the file type. Okay, because you can leak many things. You can, like what I send you is a picture. What N sent to this spy in the car park is a document file. You can send movie, video, music, anything, right? PowerPoint slide. So of course this Wireshark is also good, because Wireshark can actually guess the data, what is the file type. Okay, now I'll show you how I do this. Of course you want to continue. If there is nothing else here, you want to go to the third the third floor or the fourth or the fifth. Okay, now if you follow this one here, we already investigate 158 to 64. So this is done. The next thing I want to investigate is from N to that guy. Okay, so maybe I should write something like this. Okay, I want to filter all the traffic from N. So 192.168.1.158, and then all the traffic to the spy. 192.168.1.159. Okay, and then I click on follow stream, and let's see if we have anything more. Okay, any more info we can find here. So first thing is, if you go through the line, first thing you see is OFT2. Gotcha. So what is this? If you are not familiar, OFT2 is actually a file type. Okay, it's kind of like a document file, but in OFT2 format. Just like you have docx, you have JPEG, you have PDF, OFT2 is actually a file type. So from here you can know that Wireshark already tell you that you can actually decode the document file, because although it is a docx, it doesn't mean we have the file. So, but another clue we have is you have OFT2. So OFT2 is like a structure, a formatting structures, markup structure. So from here, maybe we know. We try to download something that can read OFT2 later. Okay. Now the reason why is because normally when I see a recipe.docx, I will go to Wireshark and then I try to export object. Okay. I try to export, but you see over here, I cannot export anything. There is no docx here. Why? Because I don't have the session key. Remember, if you have the session key, you can go from layer 4 to layer 5. Then immediately you can see the docx. But this challenge here, we don't have the session key. So we are mostly working at level 4, which is the TCP level. So we cannot just extract the document directly, although we want to. So the next thing is a bit complicated, and you don't have to do this with me. I will just show you how I do it. Okay. So next thing I want to do is, I know that the file that is sent is actually here. So the recipe.docx is actually here. So all the data that you see here, see I'm scrolling through this, is all the recipe. So we need a way to rebuild this thing into the original document file. Okay. Now the next clue we have is, you see you won't see a recipe.docx here. The next clue we have is this is sent in TCP. So we know that TCP works by a stream, all the flow. Now the next thing you do, you want to recover all this file here, all the stream here, okay, into export them out. You want to export that out. Okay, so how do I export this TCP stream into stream number 1, stream number 2, stream number 3? You need to use some tool. Okay, now another thing I want to tell you is, one day, whether you become a 10-star general or 2-star general, you are still a 2-star general. One of the skills that you will need to have is to find the right tool to do the right analysis. Okay, now over here, just a little bit of head up, we join this security competition from time to time. Utah is very active. If you haven't noticed already, Utah get number 2 ranking in Malaysia. From yesterday, I saw there's a ranking, so Utah is really good. I know you are still thinking, wow, why I choose a uni where 100 people come in, only 50 people can go out. But it is the right choice because we are number 2. Okay, and then we also sometimes we go to these security competitions. Now for those who want to join, you can always talk to me, and then when I have any invitation, I will tell you, and then we will go and fight with other university. Fight as in using Wireshark, okay, not as in this one. So come back to this one here. Of course, one of the skill set is you have to find the right tool, and all the tool that you need is already given in the folder. Okay, the Inspector Roger folder. You have 2 things. One of them is called OFDCAT. So later on, I will show you that. Now, before that, I want to extract this stream. Okay, now how do I extract this stream? I have to use this program called the TCP flow. Okay, now this TCP flow, it only works on Linux or on Mac OS. Okay, now if you are using on Windows, you cannot do this step, so you just stop there. I will show you what I do, and then I will give you the output straight away. Now, if you look at the link down below, you will see there is a link that points to Kali Linux. Okay, you will be hearing Kali Linux very often when you take security subject, because Kali Linux is the OS that you can run on the virtual machines that allow you to hack people. Now, all hacker, I tell you, all hacker, they have Kali Linux. They are running on a custom version of Kali Linux. Okay, this one here is very powerful. Inside Kali Linux, there are many programs, many scripts that you can use to hack people, to do a DOS attack, or to Weber, I don't know. So all the thing is here. For those who are interested to learn more, you can download the Kali Linux, open it on a virtual machine, and then you can do what I'm going to show you here, which is the TCP flow. Okay, so over here, you cannot do this because you are on Windows, but if you want to do this, just install Kali Linux, you can do the same thing. So I use this program called TCP flow, and then I will pass all the evidence file here. So over here, this is my evidence file. I will use the syntax R, means I use this program to read the file, and TCP flow, what it do is it will extract them into stream 1, stream 2, stream 3. So I just drag the whole thing here, I press .o, and then I want to save it to some directory. Okay, so maybe I want to save it to users.avomax.desktop something. So instead of typing, I can always drag the folder. So I'll just drag the folder here. So maybe I drag this folder here so that he knows to save here. Okay, then I press enter. Now you see, in a short while you'll see this thing. It means that now it read the file, and then maybe I should refresh this. Come back here. Now once it is done, I think in a short while after it is decrypted, you will get this folder. Oh, it is here, it is here. Now you see all the thing here. So just now I put it here. Now what you see all this thing here is all the TCP stream that you have in evidence01.pcat. Okay, it is already extracted one stream, second stream, third stream. So we know that the recipe.docx is inside one of these. Okay, we also know that we don't have to try all. If you really check this one here, you can tell that most likely the docx file is inside this stream. You look at npcip 158. So you see 158, 158. So it's either this one or this one. Alright, send to 159. So most likely is this one. This is NPC. This is the spy, the partner in crime IP. So I think the recipe.docx is inside here. Now the next step I will do is, because just now I know that it is based on OFT2 file format, I need to use a program that can read OFT2. Now the program is already given to you. It is called oft2cat.sh. So for those who want to try this, now this part you can continue, okay, because all this thing is already given to you. So for those who want to try this, you can follow me. So you should see something like this, all the stream here, and then you have this file called oftcat. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I will run this oftcat to rebuild the file. So this time Wireshark cannot help you to rebuild. You need to use this program. So what I'll do is I will type dot. Okay, I have to go to this directory first. Oops, there are just too many things. Where am I? Okay, hold on. Let me go to this directory. Okay, so I'm in already. So these are all the files that you see earlier. And then I want to use this syntax. Okay, just put this up a bit so it is clear to you. So I will use /. If for those who are still with me, /oftcat2. Okay, .sh. This is how you start a script file using the command line, followed by the syntax here. So I think it is -r. Okay, let me check this up. And then you just put in the stream that we say could be having the recipe.doc. So I will just find this one here, .158 to .159. So this one here. Then drag it here. Press enter. Oh, this is not the right file. Okay, wait, let me try this again. Yeah, no such. Oh, I think I typed it wrongly. Okay, sorry. Let me try this again. Okay, this is the right command. So oftcat and then -r, and then I will put this in. Press enter. Now you see what I have here is this program successfully helped me to build the file. We call this a reconstruct. And then over here in the short while you will see that now I have this recipe.docx. And this is exactly the data that N leaked out. Okay, now I think it's nearing 11:30. You have another class, so I'll just finish this up quickly. I can even see what is inside. Okay, so I try to see what is inside. Oh, so this is what she tried to leak up. 4 cups of water, 4 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water. Maybe Uncle Roger have more to say. It's about recipe. Okay, we don't care so much. So what we know is this is the file that's been leaked out. And what we have learned today is about TCP. Everything that you are sending the data will be in stream. So normally when you want to recover, you have to use the program TCP flow to make them into stream first, and then you can use oftcat to rebuild the file. Okay, so if you go back to the challenge today, this answer here is oft2. Okay, now what is the secret recipe? The secret recipe is what I'm showing you on the screen here. This is the secret recipe. Okay, this one is a secret recipe. So you can just paste it here. Now, there's one more thing. What is the MD5 sum? MD5 is a tool that you use to verify the integrity of the file. So for example, today I send you assignment.pdf. some people that hate you in between, they can change the file, you know. So maybe what I send you is not what you receive is not what I send to you, because some people in the middle already changed it. Okay, like I buy iPhone and then the postman changed into the iPhone cover and sent to me. Now this MD5 is used to check whether what you send and what you receive is the same. You will learn more about MD5 when you take the security subject. But to answer this question, it's very easy. You can just open any MD5 checker online. Okay, for those who want to try this out, you can go here and then let me see whether I have this in the bookmark. Yeah, this one here. So you can just Google any MD5 online, anything that can help you, and then you just need to take the file and then you dump it in. Okay, so you see over here what I have the original recipe. So this one is actually the file that is sent by N to the spy in the car park. This is the file that you recover. So let's say if you want to see whether these two files is the same, you can just drag and drop this thing here, and then you will get this value. So what is this value? This is MD5 of that file. Now if two files have the same MD5 value, it means these two files is the same. Nothing has changed. Nobody changed the thing. So for example, you see it's 83 something something, right? If I throw this thing here, you get another value. So every file have an MD5 value. That is true even for all the files that you have on the PC right now. They have this value. The reason we have this is to, if people like me always think somebody is trying to hack me, so I want to know the assignment that you send me, whether the friend that hate you already changed the file. So I will use this value, okay? So you see, if I take the original file is 8 something. If I want to know whether the recipe file has been changed, I just drag and drop. You see, the value is the same, 83 something something. So the conclusion here is that this file has not been changed. It is exactly the file that N is trying to send out. So over here, the answer for this is MD5 can be found here. Now for those who are still with me, congratulations. What we have done is we have already successfully find out all the things that our boss want to know. So we know that N is really a bad guy. Sorry, she's pretty, but she's bad. I like pretty girl, but I don't like bad girl. So she's talking to this guy here. This is her partner in crime. This is the chat conversations. This is the file that she leaked out. The content of the file is here. And then the file format is this one, and this is the MD5 value. Now, if you have all these things, that means congratulations, now you are a 5-star general. You can add one more star here to your arm, and that's it. Okay, so I'll see you back next week, and we'll start to look into all the revision stuff. Okay, I think we play too much. Somehow we play too much, and later on, if we don't do revisions, you might think I'm playing your feeling. Okay, I don't want to play your feeling. Later on, when you see the FA, wow, this guy play my feeling. Every day he plays something on YouTube, and then the exam paper is something I never see before. I don't want that to happen. So starting from next week onward, we'll start with all the revisions. Okay, so thank you for joining today. I hope you have a nice weekend. Until then, peace out.
To keep me yours and keep in mind